Well, I don't know why CPS would say they don't have him.
They don't have him. That I'm 100% sure of. But your little one is missing. He has not been seen since March.
That's great to know.
Dylan James Groves was 11 weeks old when he disappeared, born premature and fighting from his very first breath. And the people responsible for protecting him were the ones who failed him most completely. This case exposed cracks in the child welfare system that have since reshaped how Ohio handles at-risk children. It also gave us one of the most methodical interrogations I've come across, Detective Jodi Conkle sitting across from a mother whose story falls apart piece by piece. We're going to walk through exactly how this investigation unfolded, how two parents thought they could hide the truth, and how their own words buried them. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. This one stays with you.
Introduce myself to you. I'm Detective Conkle, Jodi. And get some information. Because they brought you down here, I'm going to go ahead and read you your rights, sweetheart, okay? If you don't understand something, stop me and I'll explain it to you, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You understand that? Can you talk?
And there she is, Detective Conkle. If you're not familiar with her work, she's handled some of the most sensitive child protection cases in the region, and her approach here tells you everything. Notice how she calls Jessica sweetheart while reading her Miranda rights. That's not warmth, that's strategy. She's establishing rapport before Jessica even knows she needs to be defensive. The gentle tone is deliberate. Conkle knows what she's walking into. She knows CPS had already flagged this family. She's not guessing, she's building.
We're trying to get this figured out. I figured we can figure it out together, okay? Let me get a little bit of information from you, sweetheart. What's your date of birth? Can you tell me what your date of birth is?
6/14/79.
Okay. So what's going on? Can you tell me what's going on?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I know so far and some of the questions I have for you. Evidently, is Daniel your husband, sweetheart?
Yes.
Okay. I guess Daniel's in the trailer refusing to come out? Is that your understanding?
I have no idea. I was in bed.
Okay, well, that's what they're telling me, sweetheart. Couple concerns. They actually called in a SWAT team and on their way there, and we want this to end as positive and as good as possible. That's why I need your help. Couple questions. Is there any guns in that trailer?
Now here's where the cracks start showing. Jessica says she was in bed and has no idea what Daniel's doing. But this couple had already been on CPS's radar for months. They'd been offered parenting classes after Dylan was born premature and fragile. They didn't attend, not once. So when Detective Conkle asks about guns in the trailer, she's not just assessing immediate danger. She's cataloging every detail, because she already suspects this family's story won't hold together under pressure. And she's right.
I don't know.
Honey, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this, because this is what's going on right now. Is no one can find the baby. That's what this is over. The baby's missing. And here's the thing, honey, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. If it's something that the dad's done something, whatever, you just need to help yourself at this time. One, help us find your baby, and two, help yourself. Okay?
Daniel would never hurt his children, ever.
Honey, I'm not saying he hurt him. I'm just saying, is he hid somewhere? We just need to make sure that he's okay. Okay? I need to be able to confirm that the baby's okay and nothing happened to him, because yeah, you didn't go to them classes. No, everybody said the last time they seen your baby was
I was
March.
never supposed to go to parenting classes.
Okay, that's what they said. Honey, I don't know. It's all the stuff I'm gonna check. What did they tell you had to do?
I had to go to Mahajan, which I did, and Mahajan didn't report anything. They didn't turn in nothing here.
Okay. Who did you see up there, honey? Do you remember?
Jessica.
Jessica? Okay. And what else did they tell you to do?
And see Greg.
Who's Greg?
Dunham.
Greg Dunham. Did you go see Greg?
I seen him twice, and I haven't had a vehicle. I haven't had a phone. I don't have any means of communication.
Okay. So let me ask you this, is Dylan okay?
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay. Where do you think he's at?
As far as I know. That's the phrase that should chill you, because Jessica isn't saying Dylan is safe. She's saying she doesn't know where her 11-week-old is, and she's fine with that ambiguity. Detective Conkle catches it immediately. She pivots to Daniel, not to accuse him, but to offer Jessica an exit ramp. Blame him, save yourself. And watch how fast Jessica shuts that door. Daniel would never hurt his children. She's protecting him, not Dylan, him.
Yeah, but no one's seen him since March, sweetheart. Didn't you guys get him in February?
I don't even remember.
I think it was February. So no one's seen your baby since March. And our biggest concern is, one, that you guys are okay, but we also got to make sure that baby's okay. And I'm sure you want to know he's okay. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of any place, Daniel, or anybody you would take him to? Because they said that the baby had some kind of genetic disorder it was being tested for. Is that correct? And he's supposed to be getting medical treatment. Is that correct, honey? The doctors didn't tell you that?
The doctor said that there was a lot of false positives, something. I don't even remember what it was. But it was something genetic that mom and dad both had to have, and mom and dad neither one have.
Okay. So was he supposed to have follow-up testing with that, or do you know?
I believe so.
Okay. Who is his pediatrician?
Hudson.
Over in Kentucky? Or do you see him, can he come to Lucasville also? Is that where you see him at
I've
Lucasville?
seen him in Kentucky.
Okay. When's the last time you physically seen your son?
I don't even remember.
Has it been recent, like days, weeks?
All the days just run together anymore. They take my kids and
Honey,
I don't even care.
and I understand.
The genetic disorder testing. That's what gets me. Because Dylan was flagged after his premature birth in January 2019, medical professionals noted potential genetic concerns that required ongoing monitoring. Follow-up appointments, regular check-ins. And Jessica can't remember any of it. Can't name the condition. Can't recall the timeline. Can't even tell Detective Conkle when she last physically saw her own son. The days just run together. No. The days run together when you're exhausted from caring for a medically fragile newborn. They don't run together when you've stopped caring altogether.
And I'll be straight up with you here. I don't care about if it's something from Children's Services or protection order, whatever the case is. Don't care about that. My concern is this baby right now. You're not going to be in trouble for being, telling me that you've seen the baby or you've been out there, okay? If anything, it's going to let me know that this baby's okay. Nobody's seen this, no Children's Services, anybody, nobody's seen this baby since March. No one's telling me they've seen this baby since March. Have you seen the baby since March? You're not in trouble if you've seen it. I just need to know, because if you haven't seen it, then, that's a big concern for me as well.
Yeah, I've seen him since then, but I don't know when it was.
Well, it's okay, honey. If you can't remember, has it been recent or?
I don't know. Once they took both my kids, I could care less what day it is.
And I understand that. But what you need to do is you need to trust in someone and let us try to help you. There are people out there that's willing to help you. But you got to help yourself a little bit. Because obviously you love your kids, because it seems like you're in depression now that they're gone. Is that correct?
I guess.
Can you think of anybody you would put the baby with?
No.
Did he ever tell you he was going to put him with someone so nobody would come back and get him?
No.
So you were out there today, you didn't have no conversations with him like, where's our child?
He wasn't home.
Daniel wasn't home? Where does he go, do you know? Does he work?
No, not since CPS made him quit working.
Why'd they make him?
You're not in trouble. Detective Conkle says that line 3 times in under a minute, and she means it. Because the person who's in trouble isn't Jessica. It's the 11-week-old, who hasn't been seen by anyone since March 2019. Not CPS, not medical staff, not a single person outside that house. And when Conkle finally asks the direct question, "Have you seen your baby?" Jessica's answer is, "I guess." She guesses about her infant son. That's not grief from losing custody. That's distance from someone who was never really there.
Seen it on your Facebook. He was tiny. What did it say, like 5 pounds or something? Of course, you ain't bigger than a minute yourself. You're pretty tiny yourself. You been eating right? In your heart, do you think your baby's okay? Because you know sometimes babies get sick and stuff and things can happen.
My heart's gone without him.
But we need to work on getting him back. I mean, yeah, you guys are
5 pounds. Detective Conkle brings up Dylan's birth weight from Jessica's own Facebook posts. That's not small talk. That's evidence collection disguised as chit-chat. She's documenting that Jessica publicly acknowledged having this baby. And then she asks the question that matters. In your heart, do you think your baby's okay? Watch Jessica's face. She doesn't answer. She pivots to, "My heart's going without him," like she's rehearsed it. Conkle keeps her voice soft, but she's tightening the perimeter. Every gentle question is another door closing.
Okay, Jessica, I double checked. And Children's Services did not come back out and get Dylan. Now, your family's got your older son, Daniel, or somebody, family members. I don't know if it's your family, his family. They did not come back and get Dylan, and you know that. And I think it was a couple weeks ago, you and Daniel was on a 4-wheeler and took off from the cops. And they said you guys appeared to be fine. Was you guys doing drugs then?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you were on the back of a 4-wheeler. They actually got video of that when they were chasing you guys. But obviously you weren't driving, so I mean you had no control of that. So that's all on Daniel.
So Conkle went and checked. She physically verified that Children's Services never came back for Dylan. That excuse is now dead on arrival. And notice what else she drops here. The 4-wheeler incident. A couple weeks before this interrogation, Jessica and Daniel fled from police on an ATV. They were fine enough to outrun cops, but somehow too overwhelmed to remember where their infant son went. Conkle's not accusing her of the chase because she wasn't driving, but she's letting Jessica know the surveillance footage exists. The walls are closing in, and Jessica's running out of rooms.
Wasn't you afraid when you was on that 4-wheeler and cops were chasing you? Because I'd have been scared to death. Was you at least been afraid? Because you seem like you're a good person deep down inside. Is Daniel mean to you? He don't hit you or nothing?
No.
Okay, I was just checking. We need to know that baby's okay. And I'm just gonna be blunt with you. I've been doing this 27 years. You know where that baby is. Either he's someplace and someone's taking care of him, or something's happened to him. Either way, we need to put an end to this, and you know that. That's the only way you're gonna be able to help yourself, and you know this. No matter what the situation is, how bad it is, I'm gonna be right there. What's your biggest fear?
It's already came true.
And what is that?
Lost my kids.
But it's not permanent. It's temporary if you do everything right. It ain't gonna happen overnight. You gotta prove to them that you're staying off the drugs. Prove to them you're doing everything right. But you and Daniel doing this and keeping that baby and not doing right by that baby is not the answer. That's just getting you guys in more trouble. And do you want to sit in jail?
No.
Because right now they're hashing out charges on you. And that's why I'm telling you, I can't put words in your mouth, but you need to help yourself. Because you're going to be no help to yourself or to your babies if you're locked up. And the SWAT team's going to drag him out of that trailer. It's going to happen. And you know how this goes, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. But if he tells where the child is or what happened before you, who do you think they're going to be more lenient to? It's going to be his version. You follow?
That last line right there. It's going to be his version. Conkle just laid out the prisoner's dilemma in plain English, and she's not bluffing. Daniel Groves will eventually crack. He's the one who leads police to Dylan's body in a well on the property. Jessica doesn't know that yet, but Conkle does. She's watched enough interrogations to know which parent breaks first, and right now, she's giving Jessica one last chance to get ahead of what's coming. 27 years of experience telling her exactly how this ends.
So Dylan is alive and healthy?
As far as I know.
Okay, you know what he or you've done with him. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'm trying my best to help you, but I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself. I even give you my word, if your child's somewhere, I'll be the one to go out there and check on him. I won't send one of those guys. I know you didn't get along with the guys. I will go do it. I give you my word on that. You don't know me from Adam, but I promise you, if I tell you that's what I'm going to do, I'll do it. The only way this is going to get any better is to do the right thing. Because what's going to happen is they're going to lock you both up for abduction, kidnapping, and you're going to be in jail for a long, long time. You don't want that. Versus helping yourself. If your child is really okay and he's somewhere, there'd be no reason for you to tell me, not to tell me where he is. Is it you're afraid you'll never see him again? Is that the problem? I'm trying to understand, Jessica, honey. I can relate to you. We're 6 years apart in age. I've been there. And I can tell you till I'm blue in the face to do the right thing, but you're the one that's got to make the choice to do the right thing. Because lying and not telling the truth is going to get you nowhere. I promise you that. Would you take me and show me that Dylan's okay? You would get to see him. Would you be willing to do that?
I can't.
Why can't you?
Because I don't know where CPS put him.
CPS didn't take him, and you know that. You know that, okay? you're not going to play, you know, I want to help you, and I understand you're scared, but I'm not dumb either, okay? I've told you straight up, Children's Services does not have your child. The last person with your child was your husband, and you know that, okay? You're not stupid. I know well enough to know that you're not stupid. And here's the thing too, and you say he's okay, but I'm gonna go the other route too. If it's something happened to him, not that you beat him, not that Daniel beat him, because you said he had never hurt him, but maybe medically something went wrong and something happened. I need to know that, because if not, people's gonna think the worst. Did something happen to him and that's why you're lying to me about Children's Services? I mean, I'm a mom, I get it. It hurts. And if something did happen, pretending like it didn't is not going to be the answer either. And you know that, sweetheart. Your baby deserves better than that. And you know that. You deserve better.
She's begging now. Detective Conkle is physically offering to walk out of this building and go check on Dylan herself. No other officers, just her. And Jessica still can't take that lifeline because there's nothing to check on. Dylan's been dead since late March. His body is already in that well on the property. Every soft word Conkle uses here, sweetheart and honey, lands like a hammer because she knows. She's not fishing anymore. She's documenting a mother who won't even pretend to want her child found.
Hey, when they got you out of the trailer, is Daniel in that trailer?
Not that I know of.
So you don't think he's in the trailer? Now look how precious.
Yep.
Now if that don't make you do the right thing, nothing will. He's beautiful. Let's do the right thing and let's get him. All you gotta do is trust in me. People can come in here and promise you the moon. I'm not gonna do that because I don't have a magic wand. I can't promise you anything other than I will go to bat for you no matter how bad it is. Because, I mean, if he's alive and he's okay, let's go get him. If he's not, don't leave him laying out somewhere. That's my biggest fear is if something happened to him, he's laying out somewhere. And you don't want that. Accidents happen, I know this. I've been doing this 27 years. I know more than anybody. Because it's not going to get better for you until we can find him. Good or bad, we need to find him. Because what's going to happen is they're going to charge you and you're going to sit over there in jail. Have you ever been in jail before? Well, now's not the time to start because you're what? How old are you? 40 what? 40? 41. What are you afraid of? There's got to be something you're afraid of, Jessica. Did Dylan pass away? Jessica? I know you got a heart down in there. It's obvious you love your babies. You already told me that. You're the only one that can make me understand what's going on here.
27 years. That's how long Detective Conkle has been doing this work. And you can hear every single one of those years in her voice right now. She's not angry. She's not pleading. She's just tired. Because she already knows what happened to Dylan. His body was found in a well on that property after Daniel finally broke and led investigators there. Jessica got life. Daniel got his sentence too. And Dylan, 11 weeks old and 5 pounds, never had a single adult in his life fight for him until it was too late.
Jessica? Can you talk to me?
I've been talking to you and you're just taking me in circles.
Honey, I'm not. I need to know that he's okay. I don't know what happened to him. But one thing I do know is Children's Service does not have him. The last person seen with him was your husband, Daniel. And I have no reason to lie to you about that, and you know that. I'm not taking you in circles.
Well, I don't know why CPS would say they don't have him.
They don't have him. That I'm 100% sure of. I have nothing to gain by telling you false information, and you know this. CPS does not have your baby. Now they've got your oldest one placed with family somewhere, and you know that too. But your little one is missing. He has not been seen since March.
That's great to know. Makes things so much better.
That's great to know. Makes things so much better. That's sarcasm from a mother whose infant is missing. And here's what the clip doesn't tell you. Dylan's case didn't just end with 2 convictions. Ohio lawmakers used it to overhaul how CPS tracks at-risk infants. New protocols now require more frequent welfare checks and mandatory reporting when parents miss medical appointments. The community still holds annual vigils for Dylan every year. His 11 weeks on this earth changed legislation. That's not nothing. That's a legacy no one wanted, but everyone needed.
Last person to have him was Dylan. Or I'm sorry, Daniel. That's why I'm giving you the option to tell me what happened. Let me understand. Because I promise you, you want me working for you and not against you. I'm not here to judge you. There's only one person that can judge you, and you know that. I mean, I can take you to jail and lock you up and throw away the key. That's what anybody else would have done, but I'm trying to let you help yourself. If we drug test you, gonna test clean off everything? Something you need to think about. Because once I take you over there, there's no going back. You know this. I think me and you want the same thing. We want to find that little baby and we want to find him okay. Do you think he's okay? And why do you think that?
I just think he is.
I mean, he was little when he had health problems. You still think he's okay? With no medical care?
He didn't have any health problems.
Well, they alleged health problems, I should say. I mean, who's buying his formula or his food or whatever he's doing? Because if Daniel's lost his job, I assume you don't have any money coming in, do you?
Detective Conkle lays it out plain. There's only one person that can judge you. She's not talking about the court system. She's talking about something Jessica will have to live with long after the bars close. And what kills me is Jessica's response about Dylan being okay. I just think he is. No reason, no logic, just wishful thinking from someone who knows exactly where that baby ended up. A mother with nothing to offer but hollow hope for a child she stopped protecting the moment he became inconvenient.
Are you hungry now? I hear your belly growl. Do you want me to get you a sandwich or something?
Nope.
Do you want me to just take you over there then?
Might as well.
I mean, it's your choice. I'm trying to help you. I can't make you help yourself. Let me give you a few minutes to think about it. You know it's not going away, right?
And I know I've done nothing wrong.
Well, chances are you're going to be charged with abduction, kidnapping, and interference with custody. Do you realize how serious that is? That's why I'm telling you, if Dylan's okay, let's go check on him. Save everybody a lot of hassle. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. You're not going to get him back instantly. You know that. But you can work on getting him back if he's okay. Keeping him hidden is not the way to get him back ever. You know that, right? Wouldn't you like to see him and hold him? Why don't we just make that happen?
Because I told you I don't know where he's at.
Who would know where he's at?
I don't know.
Well, Daniel has to know. You've never had a conversation with Daniel? Where's our baby?
CPS took him.
They did not take him. They took him originally, they gave him back to Daniel. They have never came and taken him since then. So just get that out of your head. It did not happen. I have no reason to lie to you. You know I'm not lying to you. Either one, something's happened to your child that you're trying to cover up, or two, Daniel's placed that child somewhere.
Abduction, kidnapping, interference with custody. Conkle lists charges that assume Dylan is alive somewhere. She's giving Jessica one last chance to pretend this is a custody dispute instead of what it actually is. And look at the offer on the table here. Wouldn't you like to see him and hold him? Any mother whose child was genuinely hidden by CPS would be climbing over that table to take that deal. Jessica sits there and deflects because she knows there's no Dylan to hold. There's only a well and a secret she's not ready to speak out loud.
Here's the deal. I'll take you over there, put them charges on you, just so you understand. If we find something's happened to that child, you understand you're going to be charged with it. Because evidently they've got him now, and he's saying something totally different than what you're saying. That's what I told you. You have one shot of I told you I would help you. Help you sort this out, no matter how bad it is. And I told you that I don't have a magic wand. But from what I've just been told, he's putting it all off on...
And there it is. Daniel's talking. That's not a bluff. Conkle knows exactly what's happening in the other room because she's been doing this for 27 years. She's seen couples turn on each other the moment the walls close in. Daniel Groves will eventually lead investigators to that well himself. Jessica's window to shape this story is slamming shut. He's putting it all off on you. That's not a warning. That's a timestamp. Whatever version of events Jessica thought she was selling just became yesterday's news.
That's why I need to know if something happened to that child and it was an accident, let me check into it. Versus just going on I don't know what he's saying, but he's portraying something totally different than what you're saying. He said you were the last person to have the child. Did you take the child from him?
No,
Why would he say that?
he didn't.
That's what they're saying. I'm not out there. You realize how serious these felony charges are? And with these type of charges and you not trying to help yourself or help put that baby where it needs to be, it's only going to be 10 times harder on you. Do you understand that? I want you to understand what you're doing. Do you fully understand that, Jessica? Because once I take you over there, you guys are going to be all over the news. You said you didn't want that. Because you know what everybody in Soda County is going to think, don't you? They're going to think you two did something to that baby. Versus getting the truthful story of what really happened. There's a big difference between an accident and intentionally doing something. Do you understand the difference between that? Do you understand that, Jessica? This isn't a game. I'm not playing games with you. Because I promise you, once I leave out of here, the guys are not going to be willing to help you, and you know that. I think you've already dealt with them out there. I don't know who was out there.
Notice how Conkle shifts from empathy to stark reality. She's not threatening Jessica. She's describing what's already happening. Everyone in Scioto County is going to think you two did something to that baby. That's not speculation. That's prophecy. Because they did. And Conkle knows the difference between an accident and intent matters legally. But she also knows Jessica's silence is erasing any distinction that might have helped her. The interrogation room is offering one last chance to be a person who made a terrible mistake, instead of a monster who covered it up. Jessica keeps choosing door number 2.
That's the last thing you can do for your child is do the right thing. It takes a hell of a person to admit, I made a mistake, I need help. Anybody can lie, anybody can play dumb, but I have more respect no matter what the case may be. I've had people come in here and sit and tell me they've killed a person and explain to me why and how it got to that point. And I still have respect for them because they did the right thing. I don't have a respect for a person that sits here and lies knowing there's a little baby under a year old that either could already be dead or could be in danger. Because as a mother, I could tell you, no matter how hard it was or how bad it was, something happened to my child, I would do the right thing. Because as a parent, when we have a child, we take on that role at all cost, do the right thing. And I'm sure you know that. You got the option to have the respect of everybody or be the most hated person in the county. That's where you're at right now. No in between.
Conkle just laid down the binary. Respect or hatred. No middle ground. And what makes this devastating is she's not exaggerating. She's describing exactly what happened after this case broke. Jessica Groves became one of the most reviled figures in Scioto County history. The community still holds vigils for Dylan every year. They remember him. They despise her. Conkle has sat across from killers who confessed, and she respected them more than the woman in front of her right now. Because those people at least acknowledged what they took.
You gotta look at the big picture. Even if it's bad, and I don't know that it's bad, but if it is something bad, doing the right thing is gonna be 100 times better than waiting it out. Because it all comes out in the wash, and you know that. That baby hasn't been seen since March. That's going on 3 months now. Nobody's seen that child. That can't be good, Jessica. I'm just being blunt with you. It cannot be good. And you know that. Deep down in you somewhere, I know that you've got love for that child. Right now, that child, you're both your children, but Daniel's okay. Both your children should be way more important than your husband at this point. More important than yourself at this point. You will always have that. I did the right thing. No one can ever take that away from you. And I'll be the first one to sit right there in court with you and say, no matter how bad this is, Jessica did the right thing. You know Children's Services didn't come pick your child up. There's nobody going to believe that. Not one person. I don't believe that for a minute. There's not one person, especially a judge or jury or anything, that's going to believe what you just told me. So is that what you want to do? You just want to take all these charges and be locked up? I mean, I've gave you every option. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you because I don't know what you're going through. But in the same sense, I'm not dumb either. I think you know that. You've got a chance to do the right thing. You can right every wrong you've ever made. I preach that to everybody. There's nobody in this world that's perfect. I'm not perfect. But we got to do the right thing. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your baby. I even told you I'd let you say goodbye. You think anybody else would do that for you? What's holding you back? Is it the fear of being in trouble? Jessica? What is it that's holding you back? Because I can tell you want to be honest. I can tell by looking at you and watching you. But it's like you're afraid of something. Are you afraid of being in trouble? Jessica, I can't help you if you don't tell me. Tell me what your concerns are. Tell me what's bothering you.
This is the maternal instinct appeal. Conkle is banking on the idea that somewhere inside Jessica there's a mother who wants to do right by her son. And here's the tragedy of it. Dylan never got that mother. CPS records show Jessica and Daniel refused every parenting class offered after his premature birth. They ghosted medical appointments. They isolated him from anyone who might have noticed something was wrong. Conkle is appealing to an instinct that Jessica never demonstrated when it actually mattered. When Dylan was alive and needed her.
Are you worried about what people's going to think? I can't read your mind. Do you want to try to help yourself or no? It's your choice. I can't make you do the right thing. But I can tell you want to. I've been doing this long enough, I can tell. What do you think? Do you think just ignoring it is going to go away?
I can tell you want to. That line is doing heavy lifting, because here's what Conkle knows that the camera doesn't show you. She's interviewed hundreds of parents in this room. The ones who are genuinely innocent don't need to be told they want to do the right thing. They're already doing it. They're demanding answers and begging for help. Jessica is sitting there silent, while a detective has to convince her that honesty might be worth considering. That's not internal conflict. That's calculation.
I gotta put the cuffs on you before I take you over there. I'll put them in the front. Okay, come on. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like a terrible difference. Have a seat right there. I'm gonna grab something real quick. You feel warmer over here?
A little bit.
Okay. Because I want to talk to you again, I'm going to go ahead and read your rights again. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You understand that? Okay. As you can see, I was telling you the truth. They did have him. And I just talked to him, and he told me that Dylan is dead. And that you guys put him in something and took him up the road off to the right and put him somewhere. He said that you would probably be able to tell us better so we can get him so he's not laying outside, honey. Don't leave your baby laying out there another night. What happened, sweetheart?
I done told you what I know.
How long's he been dead?
Right there it is, Bob. Right there it is. I tell you. Oh, damn. I won't say nothing like it back. I won't say anything.
Honey, this is your chance. I told you he was going to tell the truth when he came in. I told you that before you went over there. Do you think you can help us find him? Honey, you need to look at me and answer me. I just don't want to leave him laying out there another night. I just can't stand the thought of it. And I don't think you want him laying out there another night either, do you? What happened to him, Jessica? Remember I told you about it's a time when it's over, it's over. You need to step up and do the right thing. Do what's right for that baby.
I have the right to remain silent.
Well, honey, I mean, that's your choice. If that's what you want to do, you can. So you don't want to try to help find him tonight?
Daniel broke. And now Jessica invokes her right to remain silent. There's something almost poetic about that timing. She had every opportunity to speak when it might have mattered, and chose silence. Now that Daniel has led them to Dylan's body, she suddenly remembers she has constitutional rights. Conkle's voice cracks when she says, "Don't leave your baby lying out there another night." That's not interrogation technique anymore. That's a woman with 27 years of child cases asking a mother to do the bare minimum. Jessica's answer? Legal formality. Cold. Calculated. Done.
I assume that's a no? Because we're getting ready to take him out there. So I assume you're done? Do you want to go back, Jessica?
Yep.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to find out what rooms are going on.
That's it. That's where it ends. Jessica Groves is escorted out of the interrogation room without having offered a single word that might explain what happened to her son. She spent hours evading and deflecting, and ultimately chose silence over acknowledgement. And somewhere on that property in Scioto County, a well held the answer she refused to give. Dylan James Groves lived for 11 weeks, 5 pounds at birth, premature, medically fragile. He required follow-up appointments that were never kept and parenting support that was never accepted. He needed advocates, and instead got parents who viewed him as an inconvenience to be hidden, rather than a child to be protected. When Children's Services tried to intervene, Jessica and Daniel didn't comply. They didn't engage. They disappeared into the woods on an ATV when authorities came looking. What strikes me most about this case isn't the brutality, it's the silence afterward. Jessica had hours to say something that might have humanized her even slightly. Conkle gave her every opportunity. Blame Daniel, claim an accident, tell us where he is so we can bring him home. Jessica's response to all of it was legal formality. Constitutional protections invoked not to safeguard innocence, but to avoid accountability. Dylan never had anyone fight for him when he was alive. His 11 weeks were marked by missed appointments and ignored interventions, and parents who couldn't be bothered to attend a single class designed to help them keep him safe. The system tried. It didn't try hard enough. And that failure has consequences that extend beyond one family in rural Ohio. Here's what matters now. Dylan's case didn't end with convictions. It changed policy. Ohio implemented mandatory welfare check protocols for at-risk infants. Missed medical appointments now trigger reporting requirements that didn't exist before. The community in Scioto County holds annual vigils to remember Dylan and to remind themselves that vigilance isn't optional when children are involved. His 11 weeks created a legacy of protection for kids he'll never meet. Jessica Groves is serving a life sentence. Daniel Groves is incarcerated as well. Detective Jodi Conkle continues her work in law enforcement and remains celebrated for her handling of this investigation. But sentences don't undo what was done. They just ensure it can't happen again from these particular hands. I keep coming back to Conkle's voice cracking when she asked Jessica not to leave her baby out there another night. 27 years of child cases, and that's the line that broke through her professional composure. Because at some point, this stopped being an interrogation and became a plea from one human being to another. Jessica's answer was silence, cold, deliberate, final. Dylan deserved better than the parents he got. He deserved better than the system that tried but couldn't reach him in time. He deserved 11 weeks that weren't defined by neglect and ended by violence. What he got instead was a well on a property in rural Ohio and a mother who couldn't be moved to acknowledge what she'd taken from the world. Remember Dylan James Groves. Remember that vigilance matters. Remember that the smallest among us depend entirely on adults to keep them safe. If this case resonated with you, there's another investigation you should watch. A 25-year-old mother reports her father and daughter missing, and then police reveal evidence that tells a very different story. It's linked above. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.